Okay, so good to be back. In today's lesson, we're going to dive deeper into the range function. Okay, so when you are doing programming, you need to be observant, okay? You need to pay attention to detail. Right, let's look at how this range function is working. This is what we looked at in our previous lesson. So we said we can pass in a number into the range function. By the way, the number that we're passing in, we call it an argument, okay? It's an input into the function so that, it's processed and then we get an output that we desire. All right, so right now, if I pass in a 10, save and run, if you observe, this range function is beginning from 0 and then it's incrementing by 1 and then it's going to end just before the specified number. Okay, so let's say I want to print 0 up to 10, so it means I have to pass in an 11 here. So this is what I have to do, pass in an 11, and as you guys can see, I have 0 up to 10. Let's say I want to print up to 50, so I have to pass in 51 and save and run, and it's going to start from 0 up to 50. So if you are to observe this function, you realize that we can only control the end of this sequence of numbers, but we cannot control the beginning of this sequence. It's always starting from 0, or it's always beginning from 0, regardless of the number that I pass in, a positive integer, by the way. Okay, so if I go 12, it's going to start from 0 up to 11. Even if I pass in a 20, it's going to do the same, 0 up to 19. So we can only control the end, not the beginning. So this 20 that I'm passing in is what we call the required argument. Okay, it's required for the function to operate. Okay, it's the list that you can put into the function so that it can operate. If we don't have it, if I try and save and run it, it's going to raise an error. So we at least need one number. So that number that we pass in is what we call the required argument, and it's the end. Okay, it's controlling the end. So what happens? Maybe I want to start from 10. I don't want to start from 0. Okay, so this range function gives us, an option to add another argument, which is going to be our start. Okay, so that start will be included. So in this instance, let's say I want to start from 10. So I'll have to pass in a 10 and separate these with a comma and then save and run. As you guys can see now, I can start from 10 up to 19. But if I want to, go up to 20, I'll just have to increment this end and then go boom, I have it 10 to 20. So as you guys can see, this 10 will be the start and then this 21 will be the end. Okay, so the first number is going to be the start and then the second number is going to be the end. So this is how the range function works. Okay, it can accept at least one number, but it cannot accept up to 3 numbers. You will see in our next lesson, we're going to talk about the third argument. All right, so when you have 2 arguments, it means the first number is going to be the start and the second number is going to be the end. It's simple. So that's basically how this range function works. All right, so now we have to go and answer the question. This is the question that we're going to answer. So it says, what's the result of this code? Print, and then we're given a range 20. Is it equal to range 0 up to 20? Is this true or false? If we are to print the result of this code and print the result of this code, they're going to be equal. So it simply means this is true. Okay, so if you check it out, this is correct. So I can actually go back and try and show you what this is all about. So let's say 0,20, 0,20. And save and run, you see it prints 0 up to 19. How about if I remove this 0, save and run, it's giving me the same output. So that's why these two are equal. They are said to be equal, the range 20 or range 0 up to 20, because range 20 will always start from 0 and not including the 20, and this range 0 to 20 will always start from 0 and not including the 20. So this is true. All right, so in our next lesson, what we're going to look at what we call the third argument. Okay, the third argument. So that third argument will control the step. Okay, right now we're stepping just once, right? From 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. All right, so I hope you guys understood. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. For now, I'm out. See you in our next lesson. Bye-bye.